The filmmaker Michael Moore is ruffling feathers once again. This time it's the government he's ticked off, and this time it could cost him millions. CNN's Carol Costello once again joining us. She's got the story. What did Michael Moore potentially do this time, Carol?
Well, Wolf, oddly enough, he might have violated U.S. trade embargo against Cuba. It centers around Moore's new documentary, a documentary that isn't even out yet. Michael Moore is in trouble with the feds, this time over his latest documentary, SiCKO. It takes what Moore calls a hard look at U.S. health care by flying sick rescue workers of 9/11 to Castro's Cuba for medical treatment. The Treasury Department calls Moore's trip to Cuba a possible trade embargo violation. It is now conducting a civil investigation for possible unlicensed transactions. It is illegal for U.S. citizens to travel to Cuba without permission or purchase anything from Cuba, including medical care. If found guilty, Moore could be fined up to $1 million per violation. You do think that this whole thing was politically motivated?
Well, I think the timing of it suggests that there were politics behind this, certainly.
Moore is a frequent target of conservatives. Fred Thompson, a Republican who may run for president, wrote about SiCKO for the National Review Online, saying, "I defend his right to do what he does, but Moore's talent for clever falsehoods has been too well documented." Moore's Fahrenheit 9/11 is usually the proof they offer. The enormously popular documentary painted President Bush as a buffoon in the days after 9/11.
I hit every shot good. People would say I wasn't working.
And Fahrenheit was anti-Iraq war. The documentary so inflammatory, Senator John McCain brought it up at the Republican National Convention in 2004 as he made the case for the war.
Again, certainly not a disingenuous filmmaker who would have us believe that Saddam's Iraq was an oasis of peace, when in fact it was a place of indescribable cruelty.
Moore, who was there, seemed to tip his hat, and then he laughed. We called the Treasury Department for comment. It would only say it issues hundreds of letters each year asking for additional information when possible sanctions violations have occurred. Now, Moore says as a precaution, he has locked up SiCKO, his documentary, at a safe house outside of the United States. He's afraid the U.S. government will confiscate it. Wolf, the documentary is set to be released to the public in June.
Causing quite a stir already. Thanks for that, Carol.